I'm driving, so I won't be looking at you very often. You're my hands-free. There's my fingertips. So how's everybody? I haven't hung out with you for quite a long time. I really used to love our long and hanging out all day. Wasn't that fun? We go from cooking to creating to taking it out of the oven and dishes, and sitting around making a basket, even winding warp. I need to wind some more warp. That would be a really good idea, Nancy. Then I would have something to do. I'm trying to make myself not play Minecraft very much. It's not a very good idea because I now have 800 new subscribers. No, I think it's more than that now. I think it's 900. Anyway, I should probably have a channel just for that. And then I could stream over there. And then it wouldn't interrupt this one because people on here are not going to like having Minecraft announcements all the time. Shouldn't have notifications on for my channel. So I'm driving, and as you can see, it's a beautiful day. It's sunny, it's cold. It was negative. Now it's just negative. So it's not very cold. I don't know what it is, -10? Oh wait, there it is, -9. My car is completely equipped. I went out this morning with the kids, Daniel and Anna, and we went to town. I don't generally go shopping, but I've been in the house so much lately. I haven't gone out at all, and there's a deficit of people in my life. So I went to the store, and I bought all the stuff that's, that you're out of certain things. They're, like oranges and apples and ice cream, all the important stuff. And then when I go, I buy stuff like juice to fill the line in the cupboard back up with juice, and coconut milk. Coconut milk is not the liquidy stuff in the coconut. I don't know why they call it that here. Coconut water is the liquid in it now. Coconut milk is the cream. Well, it's like the pressed coconut. All the juice when it's not. I don't know. That's coconut cream, and that's coconut milk. Coconut cream is a solidified thing of coconut mash, almost. I don't know how to say it, but it's like pureed coconut that's then formed into a block. So we got a few inches of snow last night. I mean, it's big enough that the roads were completely covered with snow this morning, even though there'd been traffic on it. Our road still hasn't been plowed. That's unheard of. It's usually plowed 8:30 or 9, but all on the road are retired, so we don't have to get up and go to work. But sometimes we just want to get out, right? I don't usually want to get out. I'm very content at home. And if I ever want to see people, I go sit down on the highway, sit on my chair beside my great big grass hut teepee. That was always called sedge meadow teepee because it's a meadow of sedge grass. I used to have sedge meadow labyrinth. Have you looked these up when I tell you about these things? Sedge meadow teepee. You can see the whole thing from the start. And then sedge meadow labyrinth and sedge meadow willow. And then the teepee turned into a grass hut a few years ago. It was getting colder. No, I wanted some shade from the sun. And so I looked up thatching with sedge grass. and I got a really cool video from a jungle, probably Indonesia or something. He was thatching with sedge grass. It just looked exactly like my sedge grass. Anyway, so that's when I made one stick of thatch, you know, about a meter long, a yard long, and then I tied it onto the poles of the teepee. And of course it hung straight down because there was no reason it wouldn't. So I put another stick in under at the bottom so it would keep everything like that. And then I wasn't quite in the right spot, so I needed another one above it, so I made another one. And you get the picture here. Pretty soon I had covered half the teepee with it. What did you say? We do want the Minecraft now, please. I love you guys. I love playing Minecraft, but I find that I'm sitting in the chair so much. But I played a little bit this morning before we went to town. I'm trying not to sit in the chair, and I moved the living room around so that from my chair I can't see the television. But I can play Minecraft, and I've got my extra screen there so that when you comment I have something to say. I've been trying to build somebody asked for a winter cabin. And I thought, well, where better to have a winter cabin than up in the top of the mountain, right? So I went up into the mountains under the trees. Well, not quite, but I'm going to plant trees around where I am anyway. And I made a house, and then I realized that I didn't have any sound on the whole Minecraft thing of all. Well, I guess the Minecraft sound is on, but not me. So nothing I said is registered. But then, you know, that might just be just as good. Anyway, so I made this beautiful 3-story, well, started out to be a cabin, and then I just added some more pillars, and I had lots of sand, and so I kept making windows, and before you knew it, I had all these windows, 3 stories of a glass house with wooden floors. It was quite nice. And it was beside one I had already built a few days ago. And then I decided today I would make a little one. So I just made a little square one with a simple roof made out of blocks. I don't like using the stairs. It's so time consuming because you have to relocate yourself so you can angle and put the step there. And you can't just go step, 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 step. Not sideways. It doesn't work. Anyway, so I did it with blocks and I liked it. But now we're on to Minecraft. We have this huge world in Minecraft, and we had built so much stuff near the 000 coordinates, and we'd leave there and we'd take a boat and we'd end up on an island somewhere and we'd start over. But Daniel always had this cave back at the reset point. He always had his cave there. And so he goes back there all the time. But I would get further and further away. And I would build here, and then I would make a portal, find some lava, make obsidian, make a portal, and go through into the nether. This must all sound like French. And then make a tunnel to the next portal so I could pop out at all my many places, even though they were far apart and I couldn't really find them by water. Triple K Transport Limited, TKTL. Uh-oh, now she's way back there on her phone. Oh, now she figured it out. Okay, here we go. Dum, 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 dum. So we went to the grocery store this morning and I I didn't think I was buying that much stuff. It was a big grocery shop, you know, like it filled the cart. But it wasn't like falling over. And that was at one store. And then we went to another store, and once again I filled the cart. And it was pretty expensive when you add all that stuff up. Nothing is the prices it used to be, and we didn't think it was very cheap back then. Suddenly we're all paying twice as much for groceries. That's a lot of money. Especially if you've got small children, if you're a single mom. Then, and you're, you know, not on a high salary. Oh, the problems with earth life. You know, we are spirit beings having an earth life experience, right? We're not physical beings having a physical experience, or sometimes a spiritual experience. We were spiritual. We've always been spiritual since before time. Am I going the right way? Which way am I supposed to go? Yes, this is going to be the right way. I'm going a long way today. Don't usually go very far anymore, but I'm going an hour away. And we had 4 inches of snow, so the roads in the woods may not be very good, and the back roads may not be very good. And I'm going south, so there was a bigger storm down along the St. Lawrence yesterday. I don't know, maybe it'll be worse down there. She said, don't come if the roads are bad. Well, the roads are great compared to this morning. I love having grandchildren. Grandchildren are so nice. They're the best. I love you, Grandma. Goodbye, Grandma. See you later. Some of them don't want to give hugs sometimes. Some of them are in moods. And they just are not into, some of them just don't touch, are not into touching people. Which is just fine with me. My dear friend Esther, do you remember Esther? We made videos together, I think. She went with me to Georgia to clean up my mom's house. She's got cancer. I'm not sure if she's going to be okay or not. But, you know, as we get old, they say that usually when you get cancer, you're in your 60s, generally, when you get cancer. Mary was 65, I guess. She died when she was 70. Every day is not like it used to be. Used to be, I always had the option of calling Mary. And I would. And I talked about we were going to hike the Appalachian Trail together. So you better get in shape, because we're going to do this. But I think she maybe knew she had cancer. But she had a friend after that she met in her journey to get rid of the cancer. You meet all kinds of different people. And she met someone, and together they would go hiking. They would go hiking on the Appalachian Trail, you know. There's nothing to go 5 miles. They would go 10 miles. They had a wonderful time, and she felt better than she'd ever felt. Until the end. It was until the tumor grew, and once the tumor got so big, none of the organs could function anymore. So that was when everything was pretty bad. But that was pretty short. That was like 6 months before the end. One thing after another. And she had gotten to that point, I think, a few times, and she had already had the tumor removed. But this time she didn't want to have it removed. And then it got so big it was inoperable. Oh well. But she wasn't going to do the chemotherapy route. And if you look at the statistics for leiomyosarcoma, it's like 38% chance it could work. not a very high. Now let me look and see if I see someone I know here. Closed. Closed. Go up here and see the third one. Oh yes, I don't think she ever works on today because everywhere is closed on Mondays, right? People are open on Saturday but still want a weekend, so they're closed on Monday. I never experienced that till I came to Canada. In the village, in the town, it's not very good on the roads. I guess there's so many roads to do, but this is the main road. You'd think that, I mean, that one looks better than this one. Okay, we're on our way. Here we go again. Oh wait, we're not allowed to get fast yet. Oops. Sometimes I think I should go back to school. I wonder if there's anything in this local college that I could take. In Canada, colleges are technical schools and universities are all theory. Well, you know, as university is. Hello, people. 4 people and 3 thumbs ups. Now, how are those odds? That's really nice. People who get 1 million hits, or even lots more than 1 million hits, they might have a couple hundred likes, thumbs ups. You know, but you guys are so good to me. Okay, now's the going fast place. And so we are. You can hear the snow is on the edges. But we don't really want to go too fast. Look at that fingernail. It's broken twice. I need to file that thing. That's a lethal weapon. Well, just don't try anything funny, guys. I got this. Actually, they're all lethal weapons, aren't they? You know, I remember driving through the Midwest and through, I guess it's the Southwest, through New Mexico, well, Texas too, but New Mexico and Nevada. Arizona. I used to live in Phoenix. Phoenix was a great place. They say it's one of the fastest growing places out there now. But who wants to go to a place where, I mean, I knew at the time that they didn't have a lot of water. But it didn't really bother me because I was like 18, and why would it bother me? But it was winter when I was there, and they had these little heaters on. It would go down to like 50 or 55 degrees or something. Maybe it was higher than that, maybe 60. I had this little house, and it was just like 4 rooms. It was a little square cabin. And first I got a job. I got a job at CSS as a shopping investigator. And the ad in the paper, I was laying on the floor at my Aunt Bernice's apartment. She would come down from Connecticut and stay in Phoenix for the winter. She'd do that every winter. She was a snowbird. And my uncle, who was a farmer, who had gnarled fingers, you know, and weathered face, he would come down in the winter too. He had his own apartment, and and he would go. There were lots of activities, and he would go to all the dances and dance with all the women. I don't know how old he was, but I guess he did this till he died. There are activities around us. You know, I'm more aware of it now because Anna's from Vietnam, and in Vietnam, it's crowded, so everywhere you look, there's people. There's always people, but here, there's trees. Everywhere you look is trees and snow and clouds. Except today. But you know what? The road is wet, right? From the salt that melts the snow. So the roads are all wet, and they're blue wet because they're reflecting the sky. Not very often it's blue. Except Phoenix was always, well, the roads were never wet there, but it was always blue sky. And every day people would walk by my little house, and I would be out there tending my little garden, which I had to water every single day or it would die, because I knew nothing about gardening or soil or mulching or anything. I bet I could grow a good garden in Phoenix now that would work. I want to make better gardens this year. I think I want a garden on the hill. I think I want to draw lines and plant carrots. It seems like it's the perfect place for carrots. But I think what I'm going to do is like Scarlett does. She puts all the carrot seeds in one container, like a few hundred seeds, right? And then they'll all sprout and they'll grow together and they'll all be about this long. And then you transplant them. She was transplanting them into, what was she putting them in? I don't know, containers of some sort. But the roots were long. Anyway, but I would do that and then plant them out. But you have to start gardening before it's too hot. May, it gets so hot. But April, the snow is still melting. And things won't germinate until it's 45 degrees. Things in the soil. So there's not sense in doing it too early, but then that scorching May sunshine, I don't know, it's pretty bad. And then June is not nearly so hot. And July has a hot spell in it, a couple weeks. But even that is not as bad as May. I think why it's so bad is because the leaves aren't on the trees yet. And so there's no shade of any kind anywhere. Don't forget the thumbs up. It's interesting to remember things. When we lived on the farm, we had a farm. Our farm, not the farm as in Summertown, Tennessee. That was different. That was an awesome place to live. It was really interesting. It was very enlightening. It was so good. I learned a lot from the farm. I guess I was about 16 when I was there. And I learned a lot of wisdom about life. It was a religious community. And they said that if you put every religion on a computer card and then stacked them all together, the holes that went all the way through were what they believed. That was interesting. So I learned from them. But then when I left there, then we had I was married before, and he was a farmer, so we had a farm. And it had, the driveway was so long, it had 5 telephone poles, which are spaced as normally as they are on the road. Our eldest granddaughter is, she's in her 20s, I guess. She made Christmas cookies. She worked in the kitchen for like 6 hours or 8 hours making cookies. Some of them had chocolate chips in them, and some had M&Ms or Smarties. Same thing, same difference. Anyway, she gave each of the kids a big bag, a big freezer bag of these cookies. And I was just thinking, as we're driving nearby, I could leave her a message and say, if you're into making cookies today, I could come by later and take them off your hands. So you won't be tempted by them. I like making cookies and giving them to people. I know it's not a lot, it's not much, but it's my little thing of service, right? I start with maybe just my neighbor, and then maybe I'll take cookies to other people I know here and there. And I have all these little freezer bags. I use doilies. Sometimes I would use paper plates and a doily, like those China paper plates. Or you can go to the dump and get plates. You can just get a huge stack from the reuse center at the dump. It's all free. They just come home with a stack of plates and make cookies, and then put them all on plates, and on the bottom you can put a little thing that says, I hope you like your new plate. Somebody was walking with a big smile. Yesterday, Daniel and Anna went for a run, and they thought we were coming straight home from church and that we would pick them up. And so they went farther, much farther than they would ever go, because we were coming, but we didn't come home that way. No, we went a different direction. We went to a different town, and we visited with some people who've had a horrible car accident, and now they're in a retirement home. Is that what we should do? Should we go to a retirement home? And at what point? Well, not yet. But it was really neat when we lived in the city in an apartment high-rise, and we could just walk up and down the hallways and get exercise. I had babies, so we would go down the hallway, take the elevator up to the 10th floor, and I had a double stroller and a walking one, and we would go over there and play Cindy's house, or Nancy's house. Her name was Nancy, just like me. I haven't seen her in years. The kids went to school and she went back to work. She worked for the government. I don't even know how old she is and how much older I am. Maybe she's retired. That would be interesting. I remember when she bought the house that, like, they put an upstairs on their mother's house. And so the mother had the original house, which was a downstairs, minus the space that was now part of a staircase. It's good to drop in on people if you're lonely. If you're got cabin fever, if you can get out, I don't know, just having the car and just driving in the car, I have this feeling of just total freedom. I used to drive to Georgia. I mean, heck, I drove to Miami. No, I hitchhiked to Miami. I drove from Georgia to San Francisco, and I went to Berkeley. I did that whole thing. I was young. I was 17, or I was with Mary. No, Mary and I, she came to Arizona. That's right. So I drove from Georgia to Arizona. No, I took a bus. Have I ever driven all the way across the U.S.? I've driven all the way back. I've driven... There's a house here we used to live in. I could show it to you because we don't live there anymore. That would be fun. The house where we used to live. I'm not going to show it to you. There's a real old lady that lived in a house right down here. And I guess I'm her age. I might even be older than her. But she lived alone, and I would come over. I met her. She was out on her porch one day, and I stopped in and met her. And I don't know, she was so nice. Such a nice little old lady. And so I started dropping in on her. And I would do stuff for her, tidy up things or do her dishes or something. And she would call me an angel. Have you been called an angel? It's really nice. I like that. I mean, it's just a word that, meant somebody that was doing nice things for her. My mother used to call me an angel. Oh, Nancy, you're such an angel. When I would bring her something or whatever. Oh, you're an angel. I don't say that to people. It is not part of my speech. Anna speaks Vietnamese, and English, and her English is really good. I mean, the amount of words that she knows in English. But she took English in Vietnam. They teach it in middle school, but her teacher was not very good. Like, they were taught grammar and to write it and read it, but not to speak it. And so the Vietnamese language does not have the same sounds, like mixed. M-I-X-E-D, mixed. There's too many too many different sounds in that same thing. In Vietnamese, every word is one sound. It's not lots of syllables. Like Nguyen Ba Long. Nguyen, that's a name. It's sunny out. Sunshine makes me smile. Just like John Denver. Was it John Denver? Yeah, I remember people were a little irritated with him for calling himself John Denver when he wasn't really from Denver. He just loved it. He just loved the mountains. He sang, "Sunshine on my shoulder makes me happy. Sunshine on my shoulder." Ooh, there's a voice for you. Sun. I should do some voice exercises, shouldn't I? Me, 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 mo. Mo, 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 moo. Moo, 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 moo. Ah, ah, la, 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 la. Sunshine on my shoulder makes me happy. Sunshine in my eyes can make me smile. Sunshine. Okay, I got the words all wrong. Always what makes me fine. If I had a wish, I could wish for you. Okay, we'll stop playing like that before we have nobody left. So I found this site called Temu. Yay! And that was a message that this lady, who's quite old, I thought, but I'm quite old, I think. Maybe she's older than me. I think she is. And I was wondering what people do that, when you're older and you can't do much, what do you do? And so she bakes. She made a carrot cake one day and a pie another day. And she was having it for dinner, or having some of it for dinner. It's really nice to drive along. See these log houses. There's log cabin builders. There's this class where you can go, and they have all these trees are delivered, and they start cutting them and making them into what they need for a log cabin, cutting notches. Some people do it all by hand. You gotta really not need to use it soon. Funny, I play so much Minecraft, and when you plant a tree, you plant a little spruce tree. And I'm driving along, and I see this little row of all these little tiny trees, just like the row I put on Minecraft. But on Minecraft, you walk up and down the row a few times, and poof, it's a full-grown tree. Real life takes longer. There's a time element difference. Like there, a day is like 20 minutes, and here it's 24 hours. So that right there makes a difference. But still, they'll grow in a day, or 2 days on Minecraft. Boy, there's a lot of blue on the road. A lot of snow on the road. It's not quite slushy. It's the snow that hasn't been driven on yet, which is most of the road is melted. It's all blue. Have you ever gone on Google Earth and just played around? Just go look at places. Like yesterday, I went and looked at my mother's house in Georgia. I did the street view. My goodness, is it ever different? I mean, they took all the trees out of the front yard except for one. Took away all the bushes. Everything is so totally different. It's all lawn. And then they've got some bark areas up near the road. These snowplows, if they're over, it's great. He's dropping chunks of salt on the road. And he's also plowing the shoulder. But if you're not careful, if those things get in your lane, they've got an edge on them. It's a snowplow with an edge on it. That would not be a good thing to have a head-on collision into. Just saying, in case you were wondering. Something smells funny in here. Funny smell in here. sometimes it's fun to go grocery shopping, especially if you're just the one to fill the cart and then you don't have to be there at the cash register. That's my preferred method of shopping. But the way I deal, my coping mechanism for being at the cash register with my card, we don't take checks in Canada. I don't think anybody will take a check. Maybe they would. We're not much cash either. There's debit and there's credit, and they're not on the same card. Never, never. And they don't charge you for whatever. It's a pretty day. I'm sorry I can't show it to you. That would be called hands-on instead of hands-free. Hands on the phone, and I'm not going to do that. I will touch the button with my finger when it's time to turn it off. That's all. But I think I better turn it off now because I want to listen to the radio. And you're not as chatty, you know. All right, well, I'll see you later then. It's been fun hanging out with you. Where is it? Where's the turn it off button? Oh, it's an X.